there's like this desire that wants to say something else. So I'm gonna go with that. There's a book I like. It's called The Science of Getting Rich, and he has a definition of desire. And he says desire is an unexpressed possibility seeking to express itself in and through you. So I'm gonna let that desire express itself through me. So this weekend, I'm gonna pull up this real quick. This weekend, I like to get up and I'll go for a run. And when I got back to my truck, let's see here. I got back to my truck. My wife had texted me this picture, and these are our 3 kids, and they were building a robot. And they built the robot out of these little cardboard boxes, right? And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Well, when I get back home, they're all 3 standing over this robot, you know, kind of saying, "Oh wow, what a admiring their artwork," right? They're admiring their artwork. And our daughter there, her name's Kendall, and she looks up at her oldest son Colton and says, "Colton, let's make this robot stand up, right? Let's build him to where he's standing up." And Colton, like the mean older brother, says, "Kendall, we can't do that. You can't do that. There's no way it'll stand up. It can't be done. You can't do that. It'll fall right over." And I said, "Whoa, hold on a second." I kind of felt like the guy. What's the guy from Seinfeld? You know, the guy that like bust in. Kramer, yeah. Yeah. So I kind of felt like Kramer. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. I said, "Colton, what do you mean it can't be done?" He says, "I mean, you're standing up and it'll fall right over. It's unbalanced. It's going to fall over. It can't be done." And you know, a lot of people kind of make fun of me and they point at me and laugh at me because they say you're just a positive thinker, right? You're a positive thinker. And I would say, yeah, I am a positive thinker, but I like to think I'm a possibilities and potential thinker. Because one thing that I do know is that the same God that spoke and this whole universe was created, that same God that created the birds and the bees and the butterflies and the trees and the grass and the bears and the antelope, that same God created us. And we're his highest form of creation. That God creates things 2 ways, perfectly and abundantly. And he does not create junk. So whenever we say it can't be done or it's not possible or I can't do that, we kill off even the possibility of what can be done in and through us. So I said, "Colton, you say it can't be done. But let me ask you something. If it could be done, how would you do it? If it could be done, what's at least one way, what's at least one thing that you can do to make it possible and to make it happen?" And he was looking at me with had that little look like he was thinking. I could tell he was thinking about something. So I left him in his thoughts, and I came back, and about 5 minutes later, they had built this little robot. And they had it standing up. He got tape, and he figured out how to make it happen, right? And
looks like sister's excited.
yeah, she is. She's like, "I told you it could happen," right? So a lot of times what happens is we have this big goal or this big thought or this big idea that comes into our mind. And what we do is we immediately compare that big idea to our current results, and it doesn't fit, right? So let me ask you guys something. So this room that we're in right here, this room big or small? What do you think? Big. What you guys think? Big? Big. Yeah, okay. If we compare it to the bathroom down the hall, it's big. But if we compare it to the Bancorp South Arena over there, it's small, right? This room did not change. The dimensions of this room did not change. The room stayed the same. What we compared it to changed. So when we have this big idea, this big thought that comes into our mind, we don't need to compare it to our current results. We compare it to our potential. And when we say it can't be done or I can't do that, change that wording to how can it be done? Instead of limiting the possibilities, at least think of one way. If it were possible, what's at least one way that I could make that happen? So anyway, that's